اللي احنا محتاجينك ومصر محتاجاك.
انت عايز تاخد ايه من امريكا؟ عايز تعيش هنا ولا عايز تعمل لك قرشين وترجع بيهم مصر؟
بس دلوقتي النظام التغذية للأسف في كل دول العالم سيء من هذه الناحية.
أنا كشغلانتي أنا المفروض ما أطلعش بابليك.
برنامج يتحدث عن كل النماذج الناجحة، يقدم لكم قصص كفاح كثير من المهاجرين إلى أمريكا، يلقي الضوء على قصة كفاحهم. نكتشف سوياً التحديات التي واجهوها والصعوبات التي واجهتهم، كيف تحققت أحلامهم وكيف استطاعوا أن يقهروا كل الصعاب من أجل حياة أفضل. معكم مجدي سعدالله، أهلا وسهلا بكم في حلقات برنامج من ثمارهم تعرفونهم. أعزائي المشاهدين، أهلا وسهلا بكم في حلقة جديدة من برنامج من ثمارهم تعرفونهم. النمو هو أحد صفات الثمر الجيد، كما قال الرب: هكذا ملكوت الله كأن إنسانا يلقي البذار على الأرض، والبذار يطلع وينمو أولا نباتا ثم سنبلا ثم قمحا ملآن في السبل. ضيفنا وضيفكم اليوم رجل الأعمال، خبير شراء وبيع العقارات، أستاذ سامي صباغ، صاحب شركة سنشري 21. أهلا وسهلا بك أستاذ سامي، ويعني نرحب بك اليوم في برنامج من ثمارهم تعرفونهم.
Thank you so much. أهلا بك.
طبعا الفرصة الجميلة والسعيدة دي اللي انت أتحتها لنا، يعني نبدأ يعني عليك أن تعرف السادة المشاهدين من هو سامي الصباغ.
سامي صباغ، جيت أمريكا سنة 95. Got married 1996. I live in South Jersey. I've been in South Jersey since I actually moved to the States. In the first few years, الناس كلها هنا بيجوا بيشتغلوا عشان there's a casino. So the first few years I worked in a casino. In 2001, I decided to go to get my real estate license. Then I've been working in Central 21 actually for 22 years. Married for 27 years. April 4th, I'll be married for 27 years. My wife is from Denmark, which we met actually in Egypt in 1994. So that's a short story.
برنامجنا هو بيلقي الضوء على النماذج الناجحة في أمريكا. يهمني جدا أني تديني فكرة عن النشأة الأولى في مصر قبل أن تأتي إلى أمريكا.
مصر طبعا أم الدنيا.
أكيد طبعا.
سوبر. دخلت كلية تجارة. اشتغلت في I worked in a travel agency. I was lucky. I traveled a lot. I had a couple of small business, but my family moved to the States in 1983, and I was the only one back actually live in Egypt, and I moved down here in 1995. Had a great time, really great time back home, and then decided to join my family in 1995. Then that's why I decided to move.
يهمنا يعني ونحن نتحدث في هذا اللقاء أن نلقي الضوء لمزيد من رحلة الجهاد الخاصة بالأستاذ سامي صباغ، بحيث النهاردة لما بيجلس معانا هو صاحب أكبر شركة عقارات، بيع وشراء عقارات سنشري 21 في منطقة نيوجيرسي.
يعني هي it's actually يعني the sky is the limit.
كلمني عن رحلة الجهاد دي.
يعني أنا أول ما جيت it was a little different لأن أنت you're not used to do the same work you do back home. أنت back home you work in a travel agency, you sit on a desk all the time. You come here, you want to you fight for it. But the best part about coming to America is the more you work, which is really true, you have to make it. Like you can, if you work hard and you really put your heart to it, and you stay straight and you focus on what you do, you have to make it. Do you take a risk? Sometimes, once in a while, you got to take a risk to succeed. There's no risks, there's no success. So that's what my wife and I we did. Actually, we moved. We had a little bit tough time in the beginning, like everybody. Actually, it was just work from job to job. Then I went in a real estate business. My wife went in the flower business. She opened a flower shop in 2001. I got my license in 2001, and we've been, we're so lucky. I have to say that. ربنا فعلا وقف معنا يعني. We're super lucky. We succeeded. Now I have my office with 55 agents in my office. We do phenomenal, perfectly fine. My wife has an awesome flower business, and she does events only. But you gotta work for it, man. You have to keep working. You can't stop. That's how it is. And then you, like I always said, an honest, self-motivated person, you always be successful. You gotta have the mindset for it. You have to wake up in the morning, want to go to work, and you have to be honest. Period. You make it.
وأنت تبدأ أولى رحلاتك في الريال استيت، هل كنت تحلم يوما أن تكون صاحب أكبر شركة من شركات بيع العقارات؟
يعني I gotta be honest with you, I never thought about it and then I'm gonna be for real estate. And it wasn't even some in my mind. When I used to work in the casino, you work so hard in the summertime. You know how it is. In the winter, they lay you off. So 2 years I did that in the casino, then I realized I got to do something else. Someone used to work with me in the casino said, maybe you should go to the real estate school. It's 75 hours, you have your license, and then you start to help, at least you start to help some of your community. So that's how I started. And then I got my license. I got a lot of help from a lot of people, I have to be honest with you. Even I used to go to church. Abuna will announce in the church, he said, oh, Sammy's here if anybody wants some help. So I got a lot of help from a lot of people in our church. And then how do you work? The sky is the limit.
أنت كنت في سباق.
I think the best part about real estate business that I gotta be, it's the feeling, man, when you put people together and you buy a home, and then you sit down with them on the closing table, you see how happy the family is. That is the best part about this business. Is I call it win-win. There is no losses in a real estate business. The seller sells the house for the price they love. The buyer buys the house for the price they think they pay a perfect money for it. It is a happy win-win for everybody. The mortgage company is happy. The title company is happy. The buyer is happy. The seller is happy. It is win-win. There's no losses in a race unless someone obviously had a financial hardship. It happens sometimes, and they lose their home. Besides that, it is a perfect business. To do it because you see how happy the people are.
هل تتذكر أول بيت بعته؟
I do. I never forget that. I was rookie, brand new, and I remember I worked with a lady named Janet, and she kind of felt sorry for me. She wanted me to succeed, so she said, "Listen, I have one of my clients has a closing on a home, and just go help him out." So I went to help the guy out. He has one of these most popular names. There's a lot of names like John Smith. So when you buy a house, the title company will run your title to make sure that they have no liens or no bankruptcy, stuff like that. Because this guy had a very popular name, they gave us 55, 60 pages to people have similar names, but different social, different middle initials, stuff like that. And we had to go through every page, make sure that is not his stuff. And it took us 4 or 5 hours to close. And this was my first closing, and I thought this was a little bit on a nightmare, but after that, I think so.
هل تتذكر سنة كام بالضبط؟
2001.
سنة البداية.
Yeah, 2001, yeah.
اسمح لي أسألك، وأنت تمارس بيع وشراء العقارات، هل كان لك عمل آخر؟
And when I got my license in 01, it's very difficult in a real estate to make money as soon as you get your license, because first of all, you don't get paid. There's no salary. You only get paid when your transaction close. So and then it takes a while for you to learn the business. It takes a while to have steady clients, to have networks. So you can't just make good money in the first year or two. So you have to have second income. So you don't hit the wall and you realize that this is not for you because you can't pay your bills. So in the first 2 years or few years, actually, I did work in the casino while I'm doing real estate, till the point that I realized that I'm just killing myself, because I would be running from the parking lot in the casino to my job. And I think one of my managers one time, she said, "Sammy, I think you should quit, because you come late." You know, it was like you work 6 hours in the office, then you run home, then you change, then you go to the casino, work 8 hours. It was like 15, 16 hours a day job. I was lucky that I could only manage to work in the casino for 2 days a week at the end, so this was perfect. And then when I started to have my own clients and my own network and my own really, like a referral system that I can get clients, then I realized that maybe I should just quit the casino. I did quit the casino though in 2005.
متى بدأت تفكر أن تكون owner؟
Well, in 2005, I used to work with a great broker, and he decided to send me to broker school. You have to, then I got my broker license. Then he made me manage one of their offices in Egg Harbor City. So I managed an office in Egg Harbor City. And then in 2009, when we're real estate business, the country went to, everybody was in a recession. So in 2009, there was a company in Galloway area, a franchise, that they had a financial hardship, so it was about to close. So I got contacted by the corporate office, and they said, "Listen, this guy's going to close, so will you buy him out and then you take over?" So I managed to buy him out in 2009. People thought I was crazy because usually the business was horrible. We were in recession, but I am a firm believer that opportunity comes in a storm. When there's a storm, there's always opportunity. So I bought the office in September 2009. It took me like 90 days to get my license done. So January 2010, officially, this was my office. I bought it. I completely open. I had a lot of help in the beginning from a lot of people. And then we've been doing phenomenon since now. I have to say that.
من فضلك عايزك تقدم رسالة للمصري اللي جاي أمريكا دلوقتي، تقول له يعني كثير من الشباب يظنوا إن مجرد إنه جاء أمريكا تتحقق كل الأحلام. هل الأحلام بتتحقق بسهولة؟
It's actually easier than what people think. You just have to put your heart and mind. There's nothing that you can do without working though. So the beauty about coming to America is literally the sky is the limit. You work hard, you make it. Like I have not seen anybody came to America from overseas, work hard, didn't make it. You stay straight, stay out from trouble, because there's a lot of, it's not like that's, it's the same, like, it's not like that's how we grow up. So you have to be straight, you have to focus on work. You have to educate yourself. The more you know, the better you better become a better person. So work hard, focus, stay straight, don't fool around. You'll make it 100%. I guarantee you.
من فضلك يعني تقول لي ايه اللي حببك بالاكثر في بيع وشراء العقارات؟ اشمعنى اتجهت لهذا الاتجاه؟
يعني I thought ان انت if you find some business that will help you to help people to buy or sell their dream home, it would be some that is really very good to learn though. So I myself, buying or selling house is not just, you're not just buying a car or buying a suit or stuff like that. It's the biggest investment you can ever do in your life is to buy or sell a home. So I thought, maybe I should get in that business, allow me to help people to buy or sell their home. You have no idea how happy people everybody buys a house, man, is so happy. It can't get happier than that. So and then during the transaction, you see people get nervous. They do a lot of stuff. They don't like it. But you see the look on their faces when they sit at the closing table. It's just feeling that you would love to attend every time. So this, I thought about this could be some that it will help me. It wasn't really that hard to get in the real estate business. Like it's a 75 hours class. Then you pass the school. Then you do a state test. You get your fingerprints, and after that, you become a licensed real estate agent. So it's really some that you don't have to go to school for 2-3 years. It's literally 10 days, 9 to 5, from Monday for 10 days. So I tell people like that, it's just business is so easy to get. Then after that, obviously, there's a lot of learning. But as I mentioned before, if you're a self-motivated and honest person, because you're not an employee when you're in a real estate business. It's not like a 9 to 5 job and you have to come to work. No, if you're not motivated on your own, you never make it. You're never gonna make it. If you're self-motivated and you get up in the morning, have the mindset that I'm gonna go out to work and I'm gonna make it happen, you become successful. Period.
العمل كان أسهل من الآن في بيع وشراء العقارات.
Actually, I think now got a little easier because people now, as I mentioned earlier, that everything now is a cloud based. Everything's now you don't, like back in the days, like I remember we used to carry this book, like all the listings would be like in the big MLS books, like 200 pages. Now everything is up to you. So actually things are easier now than before to get in that business, especially after COVID. People after COVID, they learn new skills. Everybody now, they're so, like everybody now is computer savvy. You can go on a Zoom call with people. You don't even have to see people face to face like before. So the only thing about it make it a little bit difficult than before is people have access to properties before the real estate agent. People go on Zillow, go on Trulia, go on these websites. So easy for the clients to access property. So they have to make the real estate agent more active because you want to be the one that actually find the nice homes for the clients. So that's how. But business is great. It's really there's more tools. I have to say that now than before.
وإيه المؤهلات اللي أهلتك أن تكون صاحب هذا البيزنس؟
No, listen. I took a risk. I have to say that. I took a risk and I put my heart to it. And I worked, I really worked for it, and discipline, organized, and then I became, thank God, I am who I am now.
كثيرين اللي كانوا بيعملوا في هذا البيزنس أنت استطعت أن تسبقهم؟
Well, there's people think that real estate business is an easy business to do. They think you just have to look pretty and drive a nice car, but that's not what it is. It's like our job is to make sure that the client is protected. Our clients is to make sure that when you find the house you like, that you're really during the process from when you put on offer till you close, that you're able to do inspections for the home. You help them with the mortgage. There's so much stuff involved in buying and selling home. So there's a lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm going to go to school for 75 hours. I'm going to become a licensed real estate agent. But then it's so easy now. It's really, you have to work. There's a lot of work. There's Saturday and Sundays when the clients are off, you want to see homes, you have to be available for them. After the hours, so there is so much involved. So there's a lot of people who get the license, they think it's so easy, then they hit the wall, then they quit. I think about 90% of the licensee, they don't do business. They just get the license and they realize that's so much involved and they don't make it. So it's always like that. I also licensed in Florida. I have a broker license in Florida. In Florida, there's so many people have real estate license to the point that they make a joke. They said when the cop pull you over in Florida, they said, let me see your real estate license, please. So people, they like to have the real estate license, but the actual people that, like I think Broward County down in Fort Lauderdale area, there's a 42,000 licensee in just one county. So people just like to get the license, but the amount of work involved, and when you start to realize that I'm here to help people to buy and sell their dream homes, it's different now. So, but we're lucky, we have a lot of good self-motivated people in our office too.
هل Century 21 له مميزات عن باقي الشركات ببيع العقارات؟
Well, I honestly think Century 21 one of the largest real estate franchise in the world globally. There's not just in America. They're everywhere. They're in South America. They're in the Middle East. Or there's in Egypt. They're in everywhere. So the bigger the company are, the more tools they have. I think is one of the nicest, biggest franchise you can ever work for. So it is a great company.
وتتذكر سنة البداية؟ نرجع ليها شوية.
2009 I bought the franchise. January 2010 I opened, and the first year, I gotta be honest with you, I struggled. I sold like 27 homes for the whole office in 1 year. But 2010, the real estate market is still bad in America now. So the first year or two was a struggle. That I gotta, you come to work every day, you really work hard. Now, we are actually the #1 Central 21 office in the county. So we combined with the 3 Central 21 in this area. So our office, I think, sold as much as the other 2 companies combined.
والعدد اللي بدأت بيه مع يعني في هذا الكومباني.
We were 2 people when we first opened. Yeah, me and another one.
2010.
2010 was me and another person. That's all what we were. Then after that I used to work in another company. Then every couple of weeks, a person from the other company will leave and come work with us. So we started growing up. Now we had exactly 56 people.
56
agents.
American?
We have people from everywhere. You have actually a couple Egyptians. We have a few people from Asia. A couple Romanian. We have people from a lot. We have different nationalities. So we have really very diverse office there. I have to say that.
بتقول لي دلوقتي ان انت عندك
56 licensee. Yes.
56 لايسن بيشتغلوا معاك في نفس المكتب. وبيعملوا وبيبيعوا وبيشتروا اراضي وكل الاشياء. اكتر سنة بعت فيها بيوت تتذكرها؟
I think last year was probably one of the best year we ever had. السنة اللي فاتت كانت يعني COVID push a lot of people to. I don't know. We were talking in the break. The influx الناس اللي عايشين في نيويورك و North Jersey, that because they start to work from home, so they realize they don't need the expensive apartments downtown Manhattan. They can come down here and just be on the beach area for fraction of the prices. 2021 and 2022 we had great 2 years. السنتين اللي فاتوا. السنة دي البيزنس ابتدى يسلو down a little bit عشان الانترست rate start, people, the Feds start to jack up the rate, and so people they don't have that qualifications, or they can't get that same amount of money they used to qualify when the rate was, 3% versus 7% now. So business is slowing down a little bit.
كخبير عقارات يعني لك باع وشهرة كبيرة في هذا المجال، ماذا تقول عن منطقة أتلانتيك سيتي بين الماضي والحاضر؟
I think COVID, I always thought that Atlantic County was undervalued. Always thought like that. You live in an area that you're 6-7 minutes away from the shore. You're literally 6 or 7 minutes away from the ocean, drive. But the houses, I thought the houses were cheaper compared to the value that we have. COVID came and people start to realize that I can move down to the shore and have a nice home, beach area. Like half of this county where we are, they're like Bergantine, Atlantic City, Ventnor, Moorgate, Longport, Ocean City. We're all in the beach area. You have Avalon, Cape May. It's all to shore. It's an beautiful area to live. So I think the value in our area improved a lot in the last 2 years. Just for the fact is a lot of people moved from New York, North Jersey, Philly, and now they live in this area. So I think our value increased a lot in the last 2 years.
هل تتوقع مزيد من السائحين لمنطقة أتلانتيك سيتي في السنوات المقبلة؟
Yeah, Atlantic City is obviously casinos bring a lot of people here, but But I don't look at the area only Atlantic City. I look at the area, they have a lot of beach areas. You'll have Ocean City, you have Moorgate, you have Longport, you have Brigantine, you go down to Cape May. It is a beautiful shore area. Like we live in the resorts in the summertime here. You literally feel like you're in the resorts.
البرنامج تواصل مع مس باتينا زوجة حضرتك علشان طلبنا منها تبعت لنا رسالة صوتية مرئية عن تكلمنا عن رحلة الكفاح والجهاد لكل سنوات الزواج. وطبعا هي رحبت جدا جدا وبعتت لنا الرسالة دي اللي هنزعها دلوقتي.
Hi, my name is Bettina Sabah and I own a flower business in Galloway, and I am married to Sami Sabah that owns Century 21 Atlantic Professionals in Absecon, New Jersey. We both have businesses. We have a busy life. We love to make people happy. Sami makes people happy by selling them a brand new home or listing their old home and make some good money. I also make people happy every weekend to set up and make beautiful flowers for their weddings. We came here 27 years ago from Denmark and Egypt, and we have never regretted coming to this beautiful country. And my husband is a hard worker, and so am I. We are living the American dream.
كيف تستطيع شركتك أن تقدم المساعدة لمشتري المنازل لأول مرة؟
That is actually a very good question to ask, because there's a lot of people that don't have the idea that there's a lot of help from the government if you buy your first home. The state of New Jersey, they call it a program, they call it down payment assistance program, that if you qualify, they will give you, it depends on the county, from $10,000 to $15,000 grant toward your closing cost or your down payment, and you don't have to pay that back if you lived in the house for a certain number of years. So if you're really buying a home for $300,000 and your down payment is 3.5%, which is somewhere around probably like $10,000, this down payment assistance program will cover your down payment completely. So if you qualify for that, you may be surprised or shocked that you can buy a home with nothing out of pocket. So if you really look at it, if you're gonna rent a house for $2,000 a month and you need a month and a half security deposit and a month upfront rent, that would be about $5,000 out of your pocket. You can buy a house in the city of New Jersey, if you get the grant, will cost you almost zero out of pocket if you qualify. So first-time home buyers, they should take advantage of that. So if anybody wants any question, anything like that, I can share my email or phone number with the audience, and they can just contact me and then we'll help them with that.
لماذا يشكو الناس الآن من صعوبة شراء بيت؟
I think the thing that happened now is the interest rate is getting a little higher than before. Like before, everybody knows that the Feds increase the rate every few months by 50 basis point, 25 basis point. And then in the last 2 years, the home pricing increased a lot, like 25, 30%. So the income, your debt to income ratio now will not qualify you for the same home that you were qualified to 3 years ago. And that's what makes it difficult for people to buy homes. The second issue now that there is lack of inventory. There's no houses on the market for people to buy. A lot of people don't want to sell their houses now because if they bought a house 2 or 3 years ago and your interest rate was like 3%, why would you sell your house and buy another one with 7%? So there is no inventory. Serious lack of units for sale on the market. So when the house hit the market, there would be like 15, 20 people want to put an offer on the same home. Then you get in that bidding war. You have to go above asking price. They have to carry the appraiser gap. You have to no home inspections. It's really, it would not work perfect for the buyer when there's, it's supply and demand. If there's no supplies and the demand is so a great number than the supplies, then buying home is difficult. And then you have to compete with investors, or you have to compete with someone that has a lot of cash So it is tough for people to buy home because if there is no inventory. So hopefully things down the road that will increase a little bit, then things will get better.
وهل تستطيع شركاتك أن تعاون المشتري الجديد مع شركات الانشورنس؟
Well, we always recommend local companies that we work with that they know they get the job done. So if someone wants to get qualified for mortgage, then we can always recommend a couple mortgage companies and the people can use them. And the best part about these guys, if you have issues with your credit, that your credit maybe you lack of anything, that the company will tell you what to do, and then they monitor your credit 2-3 months down the road, and then when you start to get qualified, they qualify you. So we can definitely help the clients with the, when we help people buy a home, we go through the process. Everything with them, from mortgage company, homeowners insurance, title companies to make sure there's no lien in the house. We do everything, home inspections, everything they need to know about the home. We always do, we call it like a buyer consultation, that we sit down with the buyer and tell them exactly what they need to do. So we're not just gonna show you home and put an offer for you. We're gonna be with you from the minute you look at the house till the day you close, period.
بعض الأصدقاء الآن بيشتكوا من الساعات القليلة اللي بيعملوا بيها، وطبعا بيقل الانكم بتاعهم وما بيقدروش يبقى عندهم انكم كفاية علشان يدفعوا المورجج بتاعهم. الناس دي ممكن تنصحهم بإيه؟
طبعا during COVID, a lot of people had a financial hardship. During COVID, like people lost their jobs, people couldn't work. The government, they assist the people for a little bit. But my advice to anybody, if you have a financial hardship and you can't make your mortgage payment, contact your lender now. Don't just don't put your head in the sand and don't do anything, because it's just not gonna help you. And if anybody wants an advice, because you can refinance your home, you can do home modification program. There's a program they call it HARP that the bank will allow you to make different payments. They can push that whatever you owe on the mortgage that or you default, they can push it to the back. There's so many ways to handle that. But my advice to anybody that had a financial hardship and defaulted on the mortgage is face it. Don't put your head in the sand, because if you don't face it, it's not going to be good for you. So always pick up the phone, call your lender, strike a deal with him. The worst scenario is you just find a lender who will help you to refinance your home, and then maybe you start all over again. But there's a lot of programs that every bank will have it to help you to recover from financial hardship.
في رأيك الشخصي، هل البرامج ديت الحكومية قادرة على أن يعني بعض المشترين لا يلوذوا بيوتهم؟
I think the government during COVID realized that there's a lot of people that they couldn't pay the mortgage because they had a financial hardship. I honestly lately realized that they don't want people to lose their homes. No one wants the people to lose their homes. That is horrible feeling that you can't pay your bills and all of a sudden from owning your own house that you lose it. So it depends on what type of mortgage you have. You can refinance your house. You can there's a program called a HARP program that will let you start all over again, or they can increase your payment or increase the years or the month that you go back from maybe 15 years to 30 years. So there's a lot of ways for people to do that. It's just the one thing that I don't think you should do is you stop making your mortgage payment and you think that's going to be okay without contacting your lender. So always contact your lender and just ask him for some help.
الآن عايزك توجه رسالة لكل المشترين العقارات وتبعت لهم رسالة تطمين ودعوة لأي أحد علشان تقدم له كل خدماتك في شركتك.
My question to the folks that they want to buy homes is to do your due diligence when you buy a house. Like, don't let because I realized lately that because there's lack of inventory and people will be desperately looking for a house or 2 or 3, they can't find any home, then they start to do stuff that it doesn't make any sense. Like, I've seen people offer $20,000-$30,000 above asking price. I see people, if the house doesn't appraise and there's a gap for like $15,000, they pay that out of pocket. I always recommend that do your due diligence. Home inspection is so important when you buy a home. It doesn't matter if it's as is, not as is. Just make sure there's no major defect to the home that you buy. Shop for mortgage. If you shop for a mortgage and you get qualified, don't go out and spend money, or don't spend money on your credit cards. Don't make a large purchase. Don't go out and buy furniture. All the stuff. As soon from the minute you get qualified to buy a house with the mortgage company, don't spend money on your credit cards. Period. Don't do, because your debt to income ratio is going to change, and then the bank will run your credit one more time before closing. They're going to realize that you're not going to be qualified anymore. So there's a lot of things you shouldn't do. You get qualified for home. All what you need to do is pay off your debts and just focus on the house till you close.
أستاذ سامي، في نهاية حديثنا بطلب من حضرتك انه يعني نبعت لكل المشاهدين عنوان الشركة وكيفية الاتصال بيك، علشان اي حد بيعوز يشتري بيت او يبيع بيت يجي لشركتك.
احنا طبعا phone or email is probably the easiest way to contact us. So our main phone number in the office is 609-652-6000. 609-652-6000. You can email me. I always answer my emails. My emails is, and I'm gonna have to share that with you guys so you can put that on the camera. It's sammy@c21atlanticpro.com. So sammy@c21atlanticpro.com.
شكرا جزيلا لوقتك الثمين، وبعدك ان شاء الله هنلتقي في حلقات قادمة مع جميع الأسئلة المشاهدين في المنطقة حوالينا. احنا يعني نستطيع أن نكون حلقة وصل مع الأستاذ سامي، وهو أيضا هيتولى الإجابة على جميع أسئلتكم بخصوص بيع وشراء العقارات. شكرا جزيلا لوقت حضرتك، وإن شاء الله نلتقي في حلقات قادمة.
Thank you so much.
أعزائي المشاهدين، كان معنا اليوم رجل الأعمال الأستاذ سامي صباغ صاحب شركة سنتري 21. شكرا جزيلا وإلى اللقاء في حلقة قادمة.